worrying about who the coordinators are for both the Jets and the Giants. Like, at what point did we start giving that much of a crap about the OCs and DCs? It's about the HC, the head coach. Once the Giants hired Harbaugh, the hiring of the offensive coordinator, okay, people want to get excited about Monken, and I get it. Like, Harbaugh's not an offensive guy, right? He's a head coach, which is in part why you want him, but he's not known as the offensive play caller. And in today's NFL, you'd prefer to have the head coach that calls the plays. That's just the way that the league is gone. You want the offensive guy, you want the head coach being calling the plays and being in control of that, developing the quarterback, whatever. We've seen a lot of circumstances where it works, some where it doesn't work. It's not that you need that to have success, but that's generally, I would think, the priority or the main thing that you would be looking for in today's NFL is to hire an offensive head coach, have him control the play, call the plays and develop the quarterback and things like that. Well, the Giants got somebody better than that because they got a real head coach, not just a play caller. Let's say Stefanski is that guy, right? There was talk about the Giants wanting Stefanski because he's that young offensive mind, develop the quarterback, play caller, all those things that most teams would value in today's league. Harbaugh's better because he's a better head coach, a more experienced head coach. So when you hire the better head coach, you got to trust that he's going to pick the right offensive coordinator. And even if Monken was his guy and you were excited about that because of what he did with Lamar, you got to know that Harbaugh is going to put Dart and his offense in the best spot possible with whoever he brings in. He's the head coach. It's not, well, I'm the head coach, but I don't know squat about offense. So let's go. We're screwed if we can't get Monken. So the panic over Monken going to Cleveland to be their head coach was absurd to begin with. That's number one. Now you get to who the Giants do hire. And there's all this fuss about Matt Nagy as if he's not any good. This is exactly what I would want from an offensive coordinator. First of all, I don't even care who they hire. They could have hired inexperienced. It doesn't matter because of Harbaugh. That's number one. Point clear on that. Number two, why wouldn't you want Nagy, who's got incredible experience under the Andy Reid coaching tree? Obviously worked with him closely the last several years. Coached as a head coach already, so has that experience to draw from. Well, what is there? Something about Nagy's personality you don't like? The results as a head coach are irrelevant. He's not your head coach. He's the offensive coordinator, an experienced one and a successful one at that. I mean, he's the guy. You saw Patrick Mahomes, and maybe you didn't, but Patrick Mahomes was on the New Heights podcast, and he was talking about how Nagy wanted him so badly that he kind of cheated and gave him the answers to the test that he knew Andy Reid was going to give him the next day before they drafted him. Here's the playbook, kids. Study up on this because I really want you to impress Coach Reid so we could get you in here. That's Nagy. So I would try. I like this hire. I don't understand why people are going nuts about it. Would I have wanted Nagy as the head coach? Nah, I wouldn't have wanted that because then you go over, the retread stuff didn't fail. Again, trying to take the hot coordinator. Some guys are just better as coordinators. But Nagy has been a plus coordinator, one of the better coordinators in the NFL. This is not Eric Bieniemy territory where he was working under Reid, but it really wasn't him. Nagy is legit. And it's not even about him. It's about Harbaugh. Do you not trust Harbaugh? You needed Monken to make Harbaugh good? I don't understand. Then you should have just hired Monken as the head coach. Then it's not about Harbaugh. Enough with the coordinators. Especially when it comes to Harbaugh. You know when the coordinators matter more? When your head coach isn't any good and you hire an inexperienced head coach. Like Robert Saleh back when the Jets did, Aaron Glenn when the Jets did recently. That's when it matters. People are getting excited about Frank Reich, and by the time maybe you listen to this, maybe Reich is named as the offensive coordinator. Who knows? I'm not recording another podcast if that news breaks. We expect it to happen with the Jets hiring Frank Reich as the offensive coordinator. Hasn't happened officially yet. I don't know what they're waiting for. Just get it done. See, that would be more important. Not because, it's always about the coordinator. It's because Aaron Glenn is an inexperienced head coach who had a miserable first season, who is a defensive guy. So why wouldn't you want to pair him with somebody who is an offensive mind, an experienced veteran offensive play caller in Frank Reich? I think that's the perfect fit. So it's not getting all caught up in the coordinators, just using common sense. When you have Harbaugh, the coordinators shouldn't matter. I mean, when the Cowboys hired Jimmy Johnson, was it about the coordinators? Or was it about Jimmy Johnson? And then eventually when they had so much success, it was about, wow, Norv Turner, one of the great offensive minds. Yeah, okay, let the head coach hire their coordinators. All this fuss about the OCs and DCs is absurd to me if you have the right head coach. And the Giants have the right head coach. So it really shouldn't matter who they hire as the offensive coordinator. What matters is Harbaugh getting this turned around. If they can't get it turned around with him, it's not going to be because of Nagy and the offensive play calling. That's ridiculous. And we've gotten into a world where that is such a everybody complains about. Like, it's almost like everybody just wants to complain about everything. No matter what, just find a reason to bitch and complain about things. Now the Jets, well, really the Jets and Giants have given you a lot of reason to bitch and complain about things. Like, when you get the Super Bowl coming up, we'll do much more on that in the next couple of days here. But when are we ever going to see the Jets and Giants in the Super Bowl again? It feels like that's like an impossibility. So and that's the Super Bowl. Forget about like they can't even get to the playoffs. That's been a struggle here. So I understand they've both given us a lot of reason to be negative and complain, but sometimes I do think it's complaining just to complain about stuff, whatever it may be. The Jets trading guys last year, like not being happy with their direction, that I didn't understand. Aaron Glenn, you wanted them fired after the first 5 games of the year. They just hired the guy. Like, come on, ease off a little bit. Then the Giants finally do the right thing and hire Harbaugh, and you're looking for something to complain again. Well, if they don't get Monken, they're going to be in trouble. They don't. Now it's, Nagy. He's not the head coach. Relax. It's not that big of a deal. Now, Bada Booms, you have a different perspective on this. You're probably one of those people, a 22-year-old online looking for stuff to bitch about online. What do you think of the Giants here? And I mean, we could get into a little bit with the Jets. I know you love the Jets, but you had something to say here about the Nagy hire. What don't you like about this?
I actually think this is a testament to you. In that 5 minutes that you just went on, I kind of had a little bit of a change of heart, and I'm dead serious. This isn't for the purpose of the show, because I'm looking up Nagy's thing,
Yeah,
and I'm thinking like, oh, I didn't realize for some of those years how long he was with the Chiefs,
he's
and
a
it kind of
great
dawned
offensive.
on me.
Yeah,
Great is a tough word. He is one of the no, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Not one of. He's the greatest offensive quarterback talent of all time.
I understand that, but Nagy has been a great offensive coordinator. Hard to argue that. He also helped bring Mahomes in and develop him.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
but you look at a guy like I don't understand what more you would want from an offensive coordinator. So and I appreciate you saying that. That maybe I opened a new thought to you. But why were you anti Nagy to begin with? Is my question.
I'm kinda confused how these guys who are kinda like they're boombatso a little bit, getting so many chances, but in your little segment there, it dawned on me that I didn't realize that he was there when they drafted Mahomes, and
Yeah.
he essentially got the job. I thought he drafted Trubisky that year, so this is some living and learning on the spot. So now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, "Wait a second, to have him for Dart is kinda gonna be
Yes.
monumental, is it not?"
It's a good thing, and we'll get back to you in a little bit here, Bada Booms. Yes, it's
Yeah.
a good thing. That's the point.